Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the conversation. Today, I'm so pleased to introduce Shanon McLachlan. He is the president of Symitar, a longtime partner, and just so happy to be able to learn some words of wisdom from him on his years in the financial services industry, his time at Jack Henry, and we'll just see where it goes from there. So, Shannon, you have spent 25 years of your life in financial services. That's a long time. And you've spent what since 2015 at Jack Henry. So
That's
throughout
right.
those 25 years, what's been some of the biggest changes and surprises you've seen?
You know, I there's not a lot of kind of surprises anymore.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that's there's just the advances, right? It's the change. It's the constant is change.
Hmm.
And you look at it at the advances in technology that we've seen since 25 years ago, it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Internet didn't exist, or at least not the way we know it today back then, right? Mobile phones, everybody didn't have those carrying them around. There's been a lot of change where now rather than going into the branch, the credit union's in your pocket on your phone, right? So I think the advances in technology have been the most interesting,
hmm,
and more recently, even the pace of digital adoption has just been amazing, just absolutely been amazing.
yeah.
That
I think you're right. I think as I reflect back on the past 25 years, very, very similar. Um, you take a look at it, and the what we dreamt about 25 years ago is certainly come to fruition, and it's just happening faster and faster and faster and faster. It's just it's been incredible.
and you think about the power that's in your hands, the power that's on your laptop, your desktop, that digital experience. Our members, they want to know what they want to know when they need to know it,
Right,
right?
right.
So we need to meet the members when and where they want to be met, whichever device, whatever footprint, and if that's in our branch or not. Um, and the visibility that creates to everything going inside the institution is so different than what it's been in the past. So I look at those things. I look at kind of how they want to be served, but then that also takes me to kind of the pace that we've seen
Yeah.
fintech startups coming into play, right?
Hmm.
And the fact that we used to see startups, but now they're so niche oriented. They're like in one little specific area,
Hmm.
and all of our membership wants that too, right? They want that
Right,
one
right,
thing. So being able to adapt and adopt along that lines.
right. So let's talk about the here and now, and then we'll pivot to the future a little bit. So, in terms of the here and now, Jack Henry, Symitar, you guys are doing great stuff all the time. You're innovating every single day. I'm lucky enough to be able to get an inside view of some of those things. But in terms of kind of current innovations that's coming out of Jack Henry and Symitar, what are you most excited about?
There's several things that I'm really excited about. I mean, again, digital, I'm super
Yeah.
excited about everything there, but digital is the payments. It's the speed of the payments. It's the speed of money movement. It's the access to all of that. It's the access to your your members, access to your member service personnel, and the fact that they can do that. They don't have to pick up the phone and call
Hmm.
anybody. They don't have to walk into the institution. They can access, like, one of our really cool components is Banno
Yeah.
Conversations,
Yeah.
right? And it's a secured, authenticated chat channel where you can have those conversations that you wouldn't have in email and you wouldn't have via
Hmm.
text, right? You would probably only have them in person, where you're exchanging, personal information. You're talking about how you've lost this debit card and you need to get it replaced, and here's my account number, and here's my card number, and here's my expiration. You're not going to do that in open
Hmm.
text or email, but in a secured chat session, you are. So the innovation of that channel, the amazing stuff that our customers have taken and run with in using that's been a lot of fun to see. Payments and being able to get out there and be part of that real time payment environment and enable our clients to be able to do the same. those have been really paramount. And I think the other thing that we take for granted is, I'll call it the availability of the system. When you think about things like the stimulus checks and the burden that the stimulus check, just the inquiry, has put on our institutions, right? On the whole financial system, the volume of inquiries that has come in, whether it's, you know, a burden on the digital platform or on the core system, to be able to stand up, handle all that volume, it was 6, 8, 12 times pre-COVID volumes. Those things are just really paramount to the health of our industry.
No, they absolutely are, and you know, you showed some real leadership during those times, and you know, in helping to ensure to the extent that we all could, that our digital banking providers, you know, and everything in between, our infrastructure was there and ready to be able to sustain that volume. Sometimes we got it right, or some got it right, and sometimes they didn't. But darn, we tried and we needed to, and I think we made it better as a result of. And I think, you know, the other thing, and I think, and we'll pivot to the what's to come. And what I loved about what you said, you know, and especially with the example of Banno conversations, is it's developing that seamless member experience. And the same way a member would want to engage, whether they're in the branch or on their phone, a lot of what you're able to do is engage with the member where they want to be, and whether that's having a conversation, doing the payment, doing whatever. I think that's, you know, that's what's so cool about what you're working on, is that, you know, bringing that member experience where the member wants it and how they want it.
Right, and continuing it so they can start it in the online channel and finish it in the branch, or vice versa.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So let's take a look at the future a little bit. Help us look around the corner. What's coming that you can share?
Well, you know, there's with the advent of the speed of everything and the digitization of payments and everything else, there's also a big boom in fraud, right? So where are we going and what are we doing with fraud? And you know, one of the big areas of fraud that we've seen, and we'll be leveraging that same digital channel, but it's around wire fraud, right? So wire fraud is, I mean, it's a huge impact. So I think on a monthly basis, the stat is like $300 million are lost in wire fraud to American businesses every month. So what we've done is, what we're working on is taking the Banno conversations to that next level, where it is your wire's engine. So secured chat channel, you're not getting email, you're not having a phisher come out and grab your email and start initiating wires unbeknownst on your behalf in the institution. So a change in the tech and a change in the policy to all run through a secured, authenticated wires channel is huge. We're also working on, you know, our all other channels of fraud as well, because that is a big push. Data is also a big thing, right? So making sure that you've got access to data in an open environment, some real-time eventing that we're working on. So you think about a channel, think about like Twitter, right? Where something new gets posted, you want to know about it right now. Well, that's what this eventing service is. Something happens in the system, and if you're subscribed, secured, authenticated, and subscribed, you can subscribe to that event and get alerted real time when it happens. So lots of things around moving the system at the speed of everything else, of the digital channel.
That's awesome. You know, and fraud is not a fun area, but it is a super important area. And you know, the better we can control and manage fraud, the more able we are to do the fun stuff, the innovative stuff. And I so much appreciate your focus on that area.
There's kind of another area that we're working on. So UI and UX, those are, I like to look at those separately, right? UI being kind of how things look, UX being how they navigate or how you navigate through them. So on the UI side, we're constantly doing refresh, we're constantly dressing that up. On the UX side of things, we've been doing a deep study in how people It's one thing to hear them say how they use our system. It's another to watch how they use our system.
Mm-hmm.
So we did have a little bit of an interruption in that as we figured out how to do that typical over the shoulder, watching how you're using our system, do it virtually.
Mm-hmm.
But we're studying the habits and the trends and figuring out a better user experience. And we're in the midst of prototyping that. Now it's going to be a future deliverable, but it's exciting to see how efficient and intuitive we can make that flow for everyone.
Oh, that's great. And that's a pretty good segue to my next question. And I'll frame it up this way. One of our internal mantras is how do we help our customers, our credit unions, get the most out of what they already have? The new stuff is incredible. We need to be focused. We need to keep pushing the envelope on the leading edge and bringing new solutions and all those things. That's important. But EPIS is such a powerful system. You can get so much out of it, and that's like, so how do we help our customers get more of it, more out of what they already have? So I'd love to hear some advice from you of how can credit unions get more efficiencies and be more effective using the core?
Sure. Well, the first thing that I'd look at, there's multiple ways we can do it, but let's just reflect on it a couple ways. First is look at your repeat efforts. Look at places where you want to instill policy and kind of, you have different people that might be doing a process in different ways. Same end result, but you're not necessarily enforcing the same policy. So you get different ways of doing it. Now you're onboarding new team members and they're getting trained in 2 different or 3 or 4 different ways. So anywhere you can, look at repeat processes and then build your workflows to match that so that you enforce policy, train one way, make it efficient. The system is all sorts of capabilities that allow and enable you to do that. The other thing that you've got is your data. So it's not just about watching what or hearing what people are saying, but again, watch your data and see where are the users using the system most, where is things changing the most, and can we use the data to inform where we should be making process changes or workflow changes or customization, right? And then you go to the other side of it. Our teams have a ton of experience with all sorts of different activities that go on in the institution and have evolved best practices over time. So we can help go through like a Symitar advisor, a Sim advisor engagement, and look at your current practices and help you determine where efficiencies could be gained or where something maybe that the system we put in there 4, 5, 6 years ago, you're not taking advantage of because there's features and functions that come at you every year. You didn't need it then, you might need it now and aren't aware of it. So those sorts of things I think are really healthy to do on a regular basis.
And I agree. And I think that's what, that's part of what makes our partnership so strong. It's, being able to, use the expertise and staff and the relationships that we have back at, Synergent, and doing a lot of the things that you just described. If a credit union has like, I really want to fine tune this process, can you come in and help us out? We're able to do that. And if we need to do the lifeline, and we often do, back to your team, that's just that makes us all bigger. It makes us all stronger, being able to rely on each other in that way. Which brings me to my last question. So we've been partners for a long time, which has been wonderful. It's been a super relationship, and I know we're both hopeful that's going to continue on for well beyond us. So how would you describe that experience, our relationship, or maybe another way to frame it? How do we make each other better?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. We could have a long conversation, I think, just about that.
Yeah.
But as I look at it, first and foremost, I look at our partnership as like a trusted partnership, like open. Everything we do, we share, and we want to make sure that we're better because of it. But there's an intense focus, I think, on kind of the helping, the supporting, the improving the whole credit union community. And I think those are things that we excel at together. And I know what Synergent does there. You guys are amazing at what you do in the community. That's for sure.
Shanon, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your words of wisdom. Look forward to hopefully having you back again in the future.
Be happy to do it. Thanks for having me. Good to
Hey,
see
thank
you.
you.
Take care.